Not sure how many of you are familiar with the ASAP program. It stands for Academic Skills Assessment Program, ASAP. That program is run by professionals through the university's Student Counseling Resource Services Office. And these guys are amazing. They have a variety of workshops year-round that have a really specific focus. Some are on time management in general, others are on procrastination, others on speed reading to get you through quicker. So they really vary. And the idea of how this program works, you go to a group session or to an individual specialist and kind of lay out your style, what roadblocks you seem to be having, and they literally assess what might be a way to improve practices to yield a better result that's going to work for you. So they really do assess, and then they'll recommend maybe one of these specialized programs that would be appropriate for you. They're all on campus. They're usually group settings with other students who maybe have procrastination issues, and they become like little, I don't know if support groups is the right word, but you can sort of have a community and be sort of accountable to other students to help each other along. And some really good relationships have come out of those groups. We also will be working with Student Counseling Resource Services and the ASAP director to do a time management workshop in the spring. We did one in the fall that was really great for especially incoming students, but it was before some of the in-residence students had come on campus yet. And we hear from students all the time, as I hope we will hear from you, that time management is one of these things I just want to keep working on at all stages of the graduate career. I think issues become different as you progress through the various stages. So when your coursework phase is in play, you might be dealing with a different issue than you deal with at dissertation write-up time. And I can say, in response to the dissertation writing roadblocks that have come up, our office has put together what has become a pretty successful program. It's led by my colleague Megan Hammond. It's called the Dissertation Write-In, and it's a very simple concept. We sort of lock you into a room for 4 hours a day and make you write. And we feed you wonderful food and caffeinate you and all these kinds of things. But it's actually a really great program. We have quite a waiting list every quarter that we've run it. So it'll be announced, I think, next week, or it's already on our Facebook page. So become a friend of our office and you'll get the advanced word on it. But it is really great, and we offer them for dissertation writing as well as dissertation proposal writing. And it's interesting, our first such write-in, I guess, was about 4 quarters ago, and the students who worked in that group, we have a maximum of 20 students. The students who came together for that write-in are still meeting every week, and we've helped facilitate a space on campus so that they can go and just write and be sort of accountable to each other. And we just got word that the first one of that group has since completed the dissertation and is now moving on, so that's really great. So you do have those kind of, and what's interesting about the dissertation write-in format is it's interdisciplinary. So you're working with students, you're next to students who are from maybe a different department or field. It's a great way to meet other people too, and also I think that it takes away any kind of departmental politics or competitiveness that sometimes arises in departmental organized groups. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. Let's see. I want to speak just a little bit to maintaining a work-life balance. This is an area where, for time management issues, the ASAP program is really great. They have very concrete tips and strategies and worksheets, not unlike the one that I provided to you, for how to really structure things. Block out times of your day for checking email. If Facebook has become, your addiction, don't cut yourself off from it, but limit yourself to 30 minutes a day or whatever. They have really, really good strategies for how you can do that. And we've actually talked to faculty who employ some of these same kind of techniques as they continue to research and write, because they've got teaching responsibilities all the time. There are research responsibilities out there and life as well. So there are some really good strategies that you can work on. But it is important, I think, as these students would agree, to have a good work-life balance, because you're going to burn out otherwise. If the scope of your project you assess to be 7-8 years, you can't expect that you'll be focused on research the entire time. You've got to give yourself a break and have a few steam holes to enjoy things. And during these years, your graduate career, you may decide to have a family or get involved in a relationship that you're going to have to juggle now your life with the needs of your partner or your spouse even. So we have a couple of married folks on our hands here. Do you guys have strategies for how you pulled that off?
I'm taking an extra year.
Right. Don't try and plan a wedding and teach 3 classes at the same time. It just doesn't work very well. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to maintain a work-life balance, particularly as you get closer to the end. It's really easy to let your life take over because your work is something that you've been working on for a long time, and you're maybe a little bit sick of your project and maybe feeling like you're really ready to be done. So I think I spent not enough time last spring on my dissertation and let planning a wedding take over way too much time in my life because it was so much more fun than actually writing my dissertation. And I wish I'd been more disciplined. It's a real regret. I lost a lot of time last spring because I let it creep into every hour of the day, and because I had a flexible schedule, and wasn't that great that I could go and meet with the person who was doing our food at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I needed to have done a better job of setting aside the time. So if you have a big personal thing that comes up, saying, okay, Monday afternoons, I'm going to deal with this, or an hour a day. I mean, I was not an example of how one should handle that situation. I had a great wedding, had a great time, but I think I enjoyed it a little bit too much.
It may be a similar experience in that I had a kid, and essentially, definitely the first 6 months after he was born, it was really easy for me to ignore work because I had a flexible schedule,
right.
and not just a flexible schedule any given week. I had a flexible schedule in terms of the next few years. So right. It was really easy for me to say, oh, I'll just keep putting it off.
And it takes another year.
Yeah, and unfortunately that happened. Now I regret that because if I had stayed on track, at the same time, I don't, because then I got to spend more time with my kid, but it's a personal choice. But I regret that I actually could be done this year if I really had worked at it. And fortunately the money's there for me, so it's not even a bigger regret for taking another year. But what I've done now, and what I've kind of gotten into, is that when you have these big life events or something where you're going to be taking, you need to realize that you definitely are going to take time out of work. But don't just have it in your head of, oh, I'll do a little work today, do a little work today. You have to just understand that, yes, you're not going to get work done every day. When you accept that, it's a lot easier to then get the work done, because I have 2 weekdays a week where I'm home watching my son. I'm on campus in the morning, but I'm teaching, and that's it. I don't get any work done. And I just say, I'm not going to even try and get it. I'm not going to pretend that I'll work during his nap. That never happens.